Hi, Andres. Nice to meet you. Could you please introduce yourself and give us a short introduction of your background?
Okay, so I am a computer scientist by training. I was in Colombia, in Medellin. I did my bachelor studies. And then I did some internships in the US, working in virtual reality, augmented reality, and robotics.
Okay.
And after working in this, I realized that my passion was neuroscience. I saw some cool experiments online in which they were controlling virtual simulator, or like a flight simulator with neurons, like a real neurons in a culture. And that got me really excited. And I decided that was going to be my future career.
That's very interesting, and that's very much in line with B-CRATOS missions and objectives. So could you tell us more about your role and your tasks within the project?
So I've had several roles. So I have some experience doing real-time experiments with monkeys and doing decoding to brain-computer interfaces. Some experiments I've been doing in the last years.
Mm-hmm.
So my main goal was acknowledge transfer. So telling people what are the requirements of how things works, what can we do to do these challenging experiments that B-CRATOS is preparing. We also had some data sets from previous experiments. My role was also to share those data sets and to prepare the other groups, for example, in Sweden and in Italy, to show them what are the type of data that we are dealing with and how to process the data and work with it.
That's very interesting. And doing all of this and working with B-CRATOS for quite a while now, what do you think could or would be the impact of B-CRATOS in your field and in general in daily life?
I think so. First of all, that's an advance for patients. So we're working on a specific set of illnesses which affect people's movement, and I think having the possibility of developing these devices will, at the end, make people's lives easier. So a big problem at the moment with these types of devices is cabling. So lots of cables running around. That is, it's very hard for daily life to have to be cabled around and have having to go around with them. So I think the main contribution from B-CRATOS is to offer a device which doesn't have cables. I think that is going to be a really important contribution. Mm-hmm. But there is also a lot of other things we are adding, like the possibility to perceive sensations with a prosthetic, which is something that is being at the moment developed, and there are some advances in other countries. But this is something really novel in the whole world, and there is still opportunity to improve it. I think we're going to add that. But I think there is one more contribution, and I think that's the working together. So this is a problem. The brain-computer interfaces problem is something that it's not going to be solved by a single lab. This requires the effort of many labs, and probably labs in the whole world. And I think what the European Union is giving us now the chance to work together with many institutions in the EU towards this goal, and to form that networks, so to connect with the different institutions that are doing similar things, or not necessarily similar, but also things that can combine and form a group that makes possible this type of devices. I think that's going to be a great opportunity to meet others, work together, and solve these issues.
Yeah. That's very interesting and very clear. Thank you so much for explaining that to us and for your work within B-CRATOS. It was very nice to talk with you.
Thanks, and thanks to you for the interview.